Oh, I'm sorry. I mute myself. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, William not will not be, be able to make it today. That's okay. All right, Thăng Thiền, go ahead.
Namo fundamental teacher Sakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Sakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Sakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now thus I come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, about to fathom the thus coming to end actual meaning.
All right, good. So, all right. So we learn about the 62 wrong 62 kind of wrong view, right? So we learn the wrong view number 6 already. Now we will do the wrong view number 7. Before doing that, I think it's quickly we can review this thing together. Okay. The first 4 wrong view, right? They are related to the eternalist, right? We learn about the 18 kind of wrong view regarding the past. Okay, let's see from here. The first 4 wrong view regarding to the eternalist satisfied with the meditation. That means when they do the meditation, depend on how deep the concentration is. That means they can be able to remember many past lives. Some can remember 1 life to 10 life, or even 100 life, or even to 1,000 life, or few thousand life. More than that, depend on how deep the concentration is. So each time when they in the deep meditation, they saw themselves that the sentient being, birth and death, right? They die here and they born there, and they have the surname, the surname, and also belong to the certain family, and have a certain occupation, and so on and so on. And it keeps repeating so many times. Therefore, they say that they program the cell and the world to be eternal. That means forever. That's what they claim. So we also learn about the next one is the 4 wrong view regarding the partial eternal and non-eternal. So what happened is the first one, that means the number 5. It means that the first deity, right, from the light sound heaven realm to be reborn. That means they spend the lifespan there. It's exhausted from the light sound heaven, and they fall into down to the lower realm. That means the Rama realm. It's called the red Rama. That means the first one who reborn there in the Rama realm. It's called the red Rama. And he stayed there for a while, too long, right? And that means nobody there. So he have a thought that, wow, I been myself it's so long. I want to have someone here. And when he have that thought, suddenly it's coincident. It's coincident that some being also from the light sound heaven realm. It exalted the blessing there, and they are reborn into this realm right here. And due to that, that's why the great Rama think themselves that, oh, when I have this kind of thought, the being has been able to born here. So I am the father, I am the creator, right? They are the one who who I have created. So those kind of wrong view he had, so on, so on. So that's why they call the great Brahman TB. That means great Brahman is called eternal, while all the sentient beings are non-eternal. That means the being who created by the great Brahman, but they are not really created by the great Brahman. But anyway, they are considered to be the non-eternal. The number six is they the deity in this realm who are defiled and envy. That mean they no longer have a pure mind and they have the defiled mind, right? And envy. So they have been reborn into the human world, and because they already been here, therefore they have they know the technique of the meditation, and they be able to practice the meditation and enter into the samadhi, and they see that and they see that the Brahmin in the Brahmin realm who did not have defiled mind, no envy, that are the one eternal, and the one who have defiled mind with envy, that are the one considered non-eternal. That means the one who fall into the human realm. Does it make sense to you, Tammy?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, so I just briefly review what we have learned so far. Now, we go to the wrong view number 7. Let me see, where are you? Wrong view number 7. Number 5. Number 6. Okay, number 7 right here. Okay, Thang Thiền, you go ahead and read. Maybe, let me see. Where number 8? Okay, got it. So you read up to here, okay, before number 8.
Yeah, one more time. Wrong, wrong view number 7. And what is the third way? There are monks, certain devas called corrupted in mind. They spend an excessive amount of time regarding each other with envy. By this means the mind are corrupted. On account of their corrupted mind, they became weary in body and mind, and they fall from that place. And it can happen that a being have fallen from the state arises in this world. He calls this last existed, but recall none before that. He thinks those reverend devil who are not corrupted in mind do not spend an excessive amount of time regarding each other with envy. They do become corrupted in mind or weary in body and mind, and so they do not fall from this state. They are permanent, stable, eternal. But we who are corrupted in mind are impermanent, unstable, short life, faded too far away, and have come to this world. This is the third case.
Okay, so can you summarize what you just learned?
Yeah, what they're saying is, so there are certain devas that call corrupted mind, and they are the one who spent amount of time in envious with other people, like so whatever the other people have, and they want to have it too, and so the mind are corrupted. And so when they have a corrupted mind, they become weary embodied mind, and they fall from that place. Is fall from the place mean they fall down to being all the wrong? um, so the one that is not uh, corrupted in mind or weary in body mind, and so they are not envious with other people what they have. They do not fall from the state. So the one who are not envious, so they are impermanent, stable, eternal, and the one who is envious and they have corrupted mind, they are impermanent, unstable, and short-lived, ready to fall away.
Okay, so basically in here that what they teaching is well the Raman haven't been they also jealous. Wow, that interesting. So the Buddha said that they spend too much time regarding each other with the envy mind, right? Therefore, they are corrupted mind, and so due to that, they've been reborn. They fall down into the human world, and when they fall into the human world, because due to they were they belong to before they fall into the human world, they were the Brahman being, right? They know the technique of the meditation, therefore they be able to practice the meditation and they be able to recall the last existence only up to that means up to the Brahman being, and they saw that the corrupted mind that are the non-eternal, right? It's non-eternal, but the one who not corrupted mind, they consider to be eternal because that's what they think is permanent. But this is the wrong view in Buddhism. So let me show you what we have learned so far. Remember when we teach about when we say about the Buddhist cosmos, right? We learn about the four state of jhana, right? Okay, for meditation state. Let me see. Buddhist cosmos, where are you? Um, right here. Let's review this quickly. So, um, I think sometime in the future I will spend time to translate this into Vietnamese, so they can learn to. Um, okay, let me go here. All right, which one we here? One, here the diagram. We pass the diagram. We go to the form ram, and the first jhana heaven, right? Um, Okay, let's read this one again, and we try to understand what they, what did that mean do, and which heaven belong to the first uh, the Dhyana, right? Dhyana heaven. That means the first meditation. That means the first one is called multitude of the Brahman heaven. The second one is the minister of Brahman heaven. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Very good. The third one is,
Yes.
okay, thank you. The third one is called the great Brahman heaven. So these three, it belong to the first, then Dhyana heaven. That's the first state, meditation state. They live for how long? 320 billion years on Earth, right? That is the Earth year. And the height of those beings is 14 miles. The second one is they live about double this one, that means 640 billion years. They double the height. The third one is they are triple the lifespan, that means 960 billion years on Earth, and they triple in the length, right? For 42 miles, the height of that thing. And this heaven correspond to the route of joy arising from the separation. In this state, the path stop. the separation here is they are be able to separate from the desire. That means they suppress the desire. They not eliminate it. Okay, that's the thing we need to know. Therefore, when they are blessing exhausted, right? That is the time the desire uh, come up again, and therefore they have the mind of envy and the mind of hatred also arise. Tell me, do you understand so far?
Yes, I understand so far.
Yeah. So when they go into this state of meditation, just like when you put the big rock right on the rest, it just suppress the rest, not growing at that time. But you know what? Eventually, the rat become very strong, right? The root of the rat is still there. So we okay, let's do this. Let's read it quickly. Tammy, go ahead and read this one here. Try to understand when we try to connect this one with the wrong view number 7.
Form realm, first Diane heavens. One must have the following practices. 1. Eradicating the 5 hindrances with the right wisdom, skillfully seeing the dangers of the desires. 2. Secluding from sensuality means separation from sensation, desires, then ground of joy arising from it. 3. And secluding from unskillful mental qualities. Therefore, one can attain and stay in the first Dahayan ground of joy arising from separation. This meditative state have no desire, and then sensation desires and desire realm. One attains this first Dahayan just like a muddy bucket water mine. Leaving it still for days, all the mud afflictions in the bucket will settle down to the bottom of the bucket about 8/10. The body and the mind are gentle and happy, but if stirring the water, the mud will come up again. Note the 5 hindrances: sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, relentless doubt.
So you understand so far, right?
Yes.
So basically, this is the way the Buddha said that they are just the one who just suppress. But if they stirring the water, the mud will come up again. What does that mean? It means that when their lifespan is about to exhaust it, and that if their blessing about to exhaust it, and that's how this thing come up again. Therefore, the envy might come up, and therefore they when they have the envy mind, it is that it also mean that they cut short on their lifespan, and they fall into the human realm with the short life, short life, um, so and if we don't learn this thing here and we do not know, and now we understand this thing from the Buddhist cosmology, and all those things they have in those in the wrong view. We know it's a wrong view because basically it's doesn't matter. Use the one who eat the red ramen, they still not eternal. Nothing in Buddhism called eternal. Okay, remember that everything come and go. It's impermanent. All phenomenon is impermanent. All phenomenon is no self. Okay, so we have to ensure that even the Buddha land is that permanent. What do you think, Cô Hoàng Lý? Oh, that is a good question. What do you think, Cô Hoàng Lý?
I'm sorry, Thầy, can you repeat it, please? My phone was just ringing.
Oh, okay. So basically, when we look at the wrong view, right? Because
Yes.
basically the one who their blessing is about exalted, right?
Right.
So therefore, they have the mind of envy, right? Arise from them, and
Right.
therefore they fall into the human realm with the short life, right?
Right.
But they be able to have they know the technique of the meditation. They be able to record the last existence, But and they said that well, the one who have the envy, that is the one is impermanent, and the one who do not have it permanent. It means non-eternal and eternal. So, but based on what we learned so far in Buddhism, right? Everything is all phenomenon is impermanent. All phenomenon it's no self. Include all the being in the form realm and formless realm. What about the Buddha? What about the Buddha land?
The Buddha land, we believe that if I understand it correctly, the Buddha land is a place. It's not. I don't know if we can call it destination, but it's a place where you would.
That's called a Pure Land. That's called a Pure Land. The Buddha.
Pure Land. Right.
Amitabha Pure Land, right?
Right. Yes. So the question is, are we there forever, right? Or are
No. A question here is the Buddha, the Pure Land, also impermanent?
Based on this theory, it's not him. It is not permanent.
It's not permanent, right?
Right.
What do you think about this, Tammy? The Buddha Pure Land also impermanent?
Yeah, I think everything's impermanent. Because it's always changing, right? I mean, nothing's ever consistent.
This is very important. If we understand this point, we truly understand the Buddha teaching. Okay. The Buddha in the Amitabha Sutra, the Buddha Sakyamuni Buddha said that the being in the Pure Land, Amitabha Pure Land, lived for a long time, countless lifetime, for a long time. Doesn't matter how long they are, but there is a limit. Eventually, that will come and that will end, right? So they don't. The Buddha did not say that it lived forever. No, Buddha did not say that. The Buddha said that they live for a long time. It's a countless lifetime in the Buddha land, but he did not say this is forever. No. Therefore, Buddha land also impermanent. Why was that? Do you know why? Thang Thiền, do you know why the Buddha land is also considered to be impermanent?
Yeah, most of the time, I'm not quite sure because I think the way I think is so I think when so I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think Buddha lifespan and the Buddha land is also impermanent. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We know that the Buddha, each Buddha have three bodies, right? The Dhamma body, the reward body, and the transformation body. The Dhamma body, that is the universal law, right? That he the one who know all the universal law. That embody the Dhamma body. That represent the Dhamma body. That means all collective universal law. It represents the Dhamma body. That live forever. That is that's what we call it. It never end, right? That is the eternal. It's the same thing with the living being. We have the pure, the Buddha pure, the Buddha nature, which is pure. It's always there. But due to our ignorance, we do not see it. Doesn't matter how many times we evolve in the death and rebirth cycle, the Buddha nature always there. They never change. The only thing change is the consciousness we change due to the karma we put in. This is important. Eventually, if we practice the Buddha teaching, we can transform the Alaya, the content of the Alaya consciousness into the pure content. That means from the consciousness into the wisdom. That means from the consciousness into the Bodhisattva vow. That belong. That's how we clear the cloudy mind, right? The ignorant. When the ignorant is no longer in the Alaya, that means the pure nature will appear. Just like when we see, when the sun is shining, right? Without cloud, block the sun. But when the cloud block the sun cannot shine, and we cannot see the sun. But the sun is still there. Does it make sense to you, Go Wang?
Yes, Thầy, it's kind of remind me of the lecture that you had yesterday.
This is important. So basically, when we eventually eventually generate the bodhicitta, and when we know how to generate the bodhicitta, and we know how, based on the bodhicitta, we know how to make the vow, the bodhisattva vow, and we know how to practice the bodhisattva way. Then eventually we will clear the content of the Alaya into the pure nature. And that becomes the wisdom. No more consciousness. Okay? That's where, what does that mean? It means that the Bodhisattva practice is the way that we keep learning. Now, that means learning never ends. What do we learn? We learn from our teacher, every teacher. Buddha, Bodhisattva, even the sentient being, they are also our great teacher. Why is that? When we live in the negative affinity, right? But we be able to deal with the negative affinity with the loving kindness. That those the one who are in that negative affinity with us, they are our teacher, because they are teach us what the loving, the patient, right? We learn how to be patient from them. Without them, we cannot be able to practice patience. Therefore, we cannot be able to practice loving kindness and compassion. So eventually, all this picture, it constitutes the universal law. That means the truth of the universe. Once we be able to understand all the truth of the universe, that's how the Buddha nature transforms into the Dhamma Kaya. That means the Dhamma body. And this one, it never dies, because it's empty, right? When we're talking about the Dhamma body, it represents the true emptiness, the true emptiness, and the true emptiness represent for the pratna. That means the true the wisdom, the Buddha wisdom. So because they don't clean on anything, therefore there is no living. But the reward body, what does the reward body represent? It represents that when the Bodhisattva want to practice the Bodhisattva way, he needs to make many vows to benefit the living being based on the bodhicitta. Okay. Based on the bodhicitta, he be able to make so many vows to perfect the liberation of all beings. Once he be able to perfect the vow, that is the time he become the Buddha. And when he become the Buddha, that means all the work that he worked at the Bodhisattva, it turned into the reward. We call the reward body. The reward body have the both we call them that is where the reward body it provide the environment for living being to go there to continue on their practice. For example, the Amitabha, he made 48 vows to create the Pure Land, right? For the living being who have faith in him and want to be born there and continue on their practice, as long as you recite the Buddha name, his Buddha name, and we will be reborn there. That's due to his vow. So basically, the reward body and the environment he provides is for the sentient being to be able to be born there, so they can continue on their practice on the Bodhisattva way till they be able to attain the Buddhahood. The transformation body is also due to the vow and due to the reward body, and the transformation body also that means it's the mean to help living being to understand the Dharma and to be able to free from all suffering, to be able to escape from the samsara world. That means the samsara, that means the death and rebirth cycle, and they be able to attain the Arahat Bodhisattva or whatever. That means they're free from suffering. So the transformation body is just the mean to help. So let me give you an example. Sakyamuni Buddha, he represents for the transformation body. That is not his reward body. That is just his transformation body. But his reward body is if he have the Pure Land, just like the Amitabha Pure Land, even more. Because the way he practiced so rich, he rich in compassion. Why was that? When he make the vow, when he generate his bodhicitta, he only focused on the to practice the bodhisattva way at in the evil world like us, the Saha world. We call the five devotee. I forgot the word. Let me open the this one right here. Let's call it evil world, okay? Because this world is really evil, right? When you look at in the world, everything is turned upside down, right? That means the second Muni Buddha, when he make the vow, at the time when he generated bodhicitta, he want to reborn into this kind of world to practice the bodhisattva way, to liberate the living being. And many other bodhisattvas are afraid to be born into this kind of world because they are afraid that they will withdraw from their practice. Does it make sense to you, Tammy?
So I think this is the first time I heard that you had to go, that you went from from the Buddha nature, then you went to the Dharma body. So I don't think I ever heard that before. But
Okay.
it sounds like also you can fall out of the Buddha body or the Dharma body then, because if you become a bodhisattva, and like you just said that they fear being a bodhisattva in the Sara world because they could go backwards. So then you would go back from the Dharma body to the Buddha nature to ignorance.
No. Let me re-say it one more time so you understand correctly. Yeah. When we still the ordinary people, that means we are not yet enlightened, right? And this is we call in the Alaya consciousness. That means number 8, right? We have a lot of good karma and bad karma. Those are represent the consciousness. The consciousness represent the 4 thoughts. So far, so good.
Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, in the Alaya consciousness, we also have the pure nature. That's why the Buddha said that in the Dhamma Flower Sutra, he said that every living being, not human, every living being, include the hell being, even though they have the very heavy karma, and they fall into the hell realm to be to pay for their evil, right? But they still have the Buddha nature, no acceptance. So all being have Buddha nature. So when we not yet enlightened, it's called Buddha nature. So far so good. Buddha nature is just the pure nature. Everyone have it, but we cannot see it because due to our ignorance and craving. Just like the cloud blocking the sun shining. Does it make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when the one who practice the way, right? That means he be able to attain the Arhat or Bodhisattva or so and so. That means he partially transform the the 8 consonants into the 4 wisdom, and the Buddha nature that he partially transform into the Dharma body. Partially, not all. Just like when in the Bodhisattva way, there are 53 spiritual, the spiritual state of the Bodhisattva practice. And each state represents for the certain attainment of the Dharma body. Does it make sense so far?
Yes.
Because what does that mean? It means that each time when we learn the Buddha teaching, we understand the truth of the universe. Depend on how much you understand and how much you practice based on your understanding, you can be able to perfect on that understanding through your practice. Therefore, that's how you gain your enlightenment partially. When I say enlightenment partially, that means partially enlightenment of the Buddhahood. Because they are on the way, right? They are on the way from the Arhat to the Buddha. They have to try. They have to go through 53 states of the Bodhisattva state in order to achieve the Buddha, the perfect one, the fully awakened one. And each state represents for a partial of enlightenment of the Buddhahood, and it also represents the partial of the Dhamma body. So basically, Dhamma body is nothing else except the practice and the understanding of the truth. And when I'm talking about truth, this truth is the Mahayana truth. That is the absolute truth. Okay. When I have chance, I will share you more into that. But anyway, so until how do they go from 1 to 53 states? They have to first, in order to practice the bodhisattva path, they need to generate the bodhicitta. The bodhicitta, that means the motivation of benefiting the living being, right? The motivation come from where? The loving kindness and compassion. That are the motivation of the to benefit the living being. This is what we call the bodhicitta. Do you understand the bodhicitta so far?
So far.
Good. And okay, a person asked me that right now, if we look in the Middle East, right, when we see the Afghanistan country, they because U.S. withdraw so quickly and people so terrified, just like our country in 1975. But when we have that kind of thought and we feel so sorry for them and we feel so pity for them, that represents the bodhicitta. That is the first question, right? The second question here is, when we recite the sutra or when we do the good deed or whatever, and we want, and after that we want to make we transfer our marriage to all, right? Is that also the bodhicitta? Okay, what do you think? Tell me.
So I don't think pity, I don't know, maybe it's just the term, but pity, I don't think is bodhicitta because it's not love and compassion, it's pity. So when I think of pity, you pity pity's the worst extreme to love and compassion.
Okay.
And then what was the second one?
But when, let's say that after you recite the Ashto Bodhisattva Sutra, right, or whatever the sutra you recite, and after that, or when you do the good deed, right, you help someone here and there, and after that will you transfer the merit of your work into other people. Does that also represent the bodhicitta?
No, neither one of them does, because that too is just, praying and sending your the merits out from praying. The bodhicitta is taking it a whole further extent where you're clearing your mind, where you're getting rid of all defilements.
Oh,
so
okay.
that I would think that's just like the beginning steps to even get to the bodhicitta.
Well, at least if we have that kind of good thought, it's better than nothing, right?
Baby steps.
Okay, this is the way I answer it. And well, when we see other people and we feel the suffering that they went through, that is good. That is the way of the compassion work. And we also feel sorry for them, well, the word pity is more into this kind of a situation, and we cannot do anything right now, right, to help them. Well, that is good, but that is, you can call bodhicitta in the a little bit before come to the bodhicitta. Okay, better than nothing. And yes, when you transfer the marriage to other, well, transfer the marriage is also the way to practice, to training our mind all the way toward the loving kindness and compassion. That is the good time to do. When we do that, that means we training our mind toward the loving kindness and compassion. But if if we have to wait until then to train, and that mean what happened if the day that we do not recite, we do not do anything, then we don't have to do the transfer marriage. Okay, that means the training will, the discipline or the training is interrupt, right? It's interrupt. But how do we generate the bodhicitta in the true way? Hey, what I told them that when we live in the family, right, within the family or within the environment that we live, and we encounter many different negative affinity. Negative affinity. Let's say that the people that in that environment, they always give us a hard time, and they always give us they cause us a lot of trouble. But if we do not have any kind of resentment or ill will arise against them, but we, instead of that, we have the good thought, like the loving kindness toward them. This is truly bodhicitta. Does it make sense to you, Tammy?
Yes, that makes sense.
Because the loving kindness and compassion have to go from the root to outside, from the inner to outer, not from the outside to the inner. It doesn't work that way. And this is, once we be able to do this, you know what happened? We be able to transform the content of the Araya consciousness, okay? From the defilement into more pure content, like love and kindness and compassion. Automatically, when we transform the content of the Alaya consciousness, automatically we transform the mana consciousness, because the mana consciousness, it represents for the cell, right? The attachment of the cell. What is the cell represent? It represents that the mana attached to the information, to the content of the Alaya consciousness as a real cell. Okay, if we be able to transform the Alaya, the content of the Alaya consciousness, therefore we automatically transform the mana consciousness. That means we detach the self instead of attached to the self. Okay, once we be able to do that, because the mana consciousness also represent the emotional affliction. Therefore, when we transform the content of the Araya consciousness, we automatically transform the mana consciousness. That means we also get rid of emotional affliction. Automatically, the suffer we had before, it's gone. And how do we do that? Let's say that when the person come and cause us trouble, the only thing we can do is we have the certain type of mentality, certain type of the mind, the view toward the situation. If we have the right view toward the situation with the right attitudes, automatically you can instead of you get more suffer, you get less suffer. Automatically. Only change the view on how to deal with the situation. For example, a person that always causes trouble, for example, they are the one who give us a hard time in they are the one who take away our financial, take away of whatever, right? What we can think is, yes, maybe in the past, I own them. And they are the debt collector of me. Well, if I own money from someone that I don't know, how do I pay? But they are the one who come and ask for it. It's good. So I have a chance to repay to the person that before I don't know, but now I do know. I will repay. But when I repay, I want to make sure that I don't want to own any debt toward the person. How do we do that? We don't want to generate the negative affinity into more negative. We should using the love and kindness and no ill will against this person. Not automatically you bring happiness to them. That is the love and kindness represent. And and endure the suffering. That represent for the compassion. Tammy, you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
This is important. If we be able to do this, the practice of the spiritual path, it will greatly improve that you don't even know how greatly improve. The technique, for example, the meditation, recite the Buddha name, recite the sutra, recite the mantra, it helps us to deal with this thing, right? But if we have this kind of good heart, and when we apply the technique, it will be even better. But when a lot of people, they don't understand about the thing we learn, because we learn about the consciousness only, therefore we understand the eight consciousness, and we understand which one we need to tackle, which one we need to deal, and how do we deal with it in the right attitude. If we understand all these things together, then we can use the technique like meditation or recite a mantra or whatever. We can use that as the means to help us to even advance in our practice. Cô Hoàng Lý, you understand it, cô?
Yes, thầy. Yes, I do understand.
So do any one of you have any question to ask? So I think this is very important. If we don't learn about the consciousness only, I don't think we have a clear picture on how to do this thing. Don't you agree, cô Hoàng Lý?
Yes, I think this part is very important. Actually, I do have a real life story to bring up, and possibly maybe for the purpose of discussion. This is a real life story. It happens probably close to 10 years ago. It's right in the area where we live, right in Sugar Land, Texas. There is a family of a husband and wife and two children. And the husband and wife are both retired. They lived in Sugar Land, a very, very prominent, very nice area. High-class people. Their oldest son went to college. They sent the oldest son to college. The younger son was still in high school at that time. Every year, the oldest son basically communicate that he's, in college, and at a certain time, I think in 2003, he's supposed to graduate, and he came home for a graduation. The whole family celebrate. They went to the restaurant and they had the big celebration for him. When they got home that evening, somebody already in the house and start shooting all of them, all four of them, husband, wife, and the two boys. They all got injured. The youngest brother died. The mother also died. The father lived, and the oldest son lived. And it was unraveled through investigation, because it stirred up the whole neighborhood. It's unraveled that apparently the school where his son supposed to have graduated contacted the police and said he never graduated. He started there as the first year freshman and he got in probation. So that was that. So all eyes on him. And he finally got caught and was sentenced for death penalty because he apparently recruited his two best friends, set up the killing because he planned to kill everyone because the insurance was at that time $1.5 million. So here's the good part. The father who has lost his wife and his youngest son, and the son is now, get the death sentence. And the father has worked tirelessly for the next few years trying to save his son. And he had said that he had given his son or anyone who had killed his family. And when it got out to court, although he got up there and had told the juror that he had forgiven his son and he begged to save his life, the juror still, the legal system is still pushed for the death penalty. And on his last day of the son, on his last meal, who's supposed to be executed, well, of course, the father appealed all the way to the governor. And it's just recently the Governor Abbott, our governor right now, has finally pardoned him. So and his father said in the statement, it kind of made me really pause and think. His father said, I had been, basically everything I had was killed. I had been, literally they used in the term that I've been killed once. And now this is all I got left is my son. And if the law is trying to kill him, that means you would kill me again. So basically he said he begged for his life, that he would never be pardoned. He will spend the rest of his life in jail, but please don't kill him because the fathers cannot stand to have him, to have basically to go through that again. So my question is, when we talk about bodhicitta, is the father really have a true loving kindness and bodhicitta toward the killer? Or is the father really going after his feeling? He didn't want to see his son. He didn't want to witness the last person in his family to be executed. Or is that truly the loving and kindness of a human being who happened to be his son, who had just hired somebody to kill his wife and his family and also injure him? I mean, the father was also injured in the killing, but lucky he didn't die. So I don't know if I convey my question clearly. The question is, the father, when he begged for, the life the law to spare his son's life, is that for him, for himself, for the father, or is that truly from the loving kindness for the son?
Got
I'm
it.
just kind of bringing it up as a debate. We just happen to learn about the bodhicitta, topic here.
This you brought up a very good point. Before I answer this, anyone volunteer to tip in? Tammy, you want to try?
Well, it seems like to me, it's more clinging than anything. I don't know that I would say that, but it's hard without being that person really telling where the intent's coming from. But from an outside perspective, I would say that's more of him just kind of clinging to the last remaining family that he has left. I don't know if it's really, but now coming from the spot of a parent, though, a mother, I could see a mother being able to, really from a spot of loving kindness, begin with it being your child. I don't know that would be bodhicitta, but if it were like an outsider, maybe for the person that had killed his family, then that part maybe could be seen as bodhicitta.
Thân Thiện, you want to try it?
For อธิบายว่าดังสิ่งไทย
Good.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you want to try it? Okay, this is what
Yes, I got it. Yeah, Batay Bova. Yeah, I tried to unmute myself. I was speaking on mute.
But you want to say something?
Yes. Yeah, Mova. Batay. First of all, like Tammy say that there's two different angle if you look at from the outside, you looking in, or you from the inside of the father, what he feel. It could be both. First of all, it could be, Buddha Chitas. Also, same thing on the other hand is, forgiveness and compassionate mind from the father as well. So that's how I thought. Yeah, both of them.
Okay, let me clarify the story before I tip in my view. So basically, this family, that means the mom and the two children die, right? From the
mom and the youngest son died.
Okay, from the older one.
Yeah, right. The older one is the one who hired the hitman to kill all his family. But apparently the father who got hurt but survived.
Okay.
Himself faked to be shot. So he was shot in the arm, pretending like he's part of the people who got robbed or killed.
Got it. Now I understand the story. Thank you. So he the one who just pretend to be the one the victim, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So the family pushed him to study what kind of they want him to study the medical, the doctor, or what?
No, I don't know. He's supposed to have gone to Sam, the state university somewhere in Texas. I don't.
But because we don't know the parent. Usually the Asian parent. I just want to.
No. This is the Caucasian family, the family. And if anybody Google, it's still showing every so often because it's a lot of it's a long story, but I try to make it short for the time sake. It's a long story. Basically, it's a lot of investigation. It's a long drawn out. I think it took about 10 months before they pinpoint the son who's the the one who's guilty.
Okay.
Yeah. So the story is the family's last name is Whitakers, and they are in Sugar Land. I don't know if the father is still here or have moved. But,
okay, so basically they want him to go to school and be able to success in whatever
they sent him to school, and apparently he failed in the first year, but he
But
continued.
they are the one to force him that you need to learn this and that, right? Is that any?
I don't know. The mother was a retired teacher. The father was a retired accountant, and it's a dream family. Everybody saying
Okay.
that just the perfect family, from the way it looked in. But apparently,
that means the parent maybe have the very high expectation from this son.
I don't know. All we heard the story is that it's after the murder. After the.
Remember one thing. The son will not have that kind of attitude if there is no background. You understand, right? That means the background, when he lived in that family, that means he been the son for many years, maybe 18 years, right? He went through a lot of difficult emotion, right? We don't know how the parent teach him, right? And that impact on his behavior in the future. If that's the case, if any kind of abusive in physical, I'm not too sure, or abusive in mental, that could be effect on his behavior. If that's the case, let me take the worst scenario first. If that's the case, then the son, he actually at the beginning, he was sent to the school and he already got probated, right? At the beginning.
Right.
And that means he did not want to go to school at the beginning already. Okay? And that's what we know so far. And he pretend to be graduated, right?
Right.
That means all this year the family know nothing about him.
Correct.
Know nothing about him in the college life, right? And that means I don't know that they have the close connection with him during those times. Then therefore he hired a hitman. That's a lot of work, right? That means he already planned out during those times.
Well, the news has it that he's after the insurance money, and he promised the two hitmen that he's gonna share the insurance.
Oh, insurance money. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be the motivation, but behind that, that's even more than the insurance. I think it's the way that the family treats him emotionally. I don't know, because that is the big hidden that we don't know, right? Therefore, that's why he had this kind of behavior. If the parents treat the children with the love and kindness and to the decent, right? And the children, I don't think the children will do this kind of work, right? I don't think so. But if the children do this kind of work, that means it's very, that means to the point that they're very terrible. If that's the case, then the father tried the best to save his son. The reason he's doing that is, because for his remorse and regret that he tricked his son, for many years before this thing happened. He regret about his past, right? This is the worst scenario I go. And this is not truly love and kindness and compassion. This is just the regret or the remorse. Does it make sense, I guess?
Yes.
But next time
You know.
we can discuss about the other scenario.
Yeah.
But at least for this worst scenario, I think that makes more sense, right? The reason why he have the motivation to plan this thing and kill his family, I think more. Well, the money for insurance money is one, but I think more than that, the motivation behind it is more than the money. Yeah. And did they say anything about he using drug or whatever?
No, they said no drug.
No drug.
Right.
He the alcoholic or what?
None. They apparently, I think the reason that drives him to do that was he had been lying to his family for so long. Now the truth is about to come out, and the best way to them, to do for them is to set up
Okay. Okay. We can continue on next time. I think this is a very good story, so we can deep dive into it, and we try to understand from the psychology perspective. Okay. All right. Okay, we stop right here. I think today is really late. My master also need to do the teaching. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, move. May every living being among as one in radiant light share the fruit of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May the kindness find reward. May all who so leave the grief and the pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of the endless night, because our hearts are one. This world of pain turn into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Okay, thank you. Namo Yidava. Today it's a little bit late, so we will stop here and we will not have the mantra today. I have to help my master to send out the invitation for his class. But anyway, thank you very much. I think today class is quite interesting. Okay. Okay. So next time we will deep dive into this, and I think it will help us to see the truth a little bit more, I guess. Thank you.